Hello and welcome to another edition of Discover Love Academy. I am Jacqueline, the founder and creator of this amazing group. I'm a professional matchmaker. In all my years of working with singles, I have found that a little extra tips and guidance from experts and coaches and amazing dynamic individuals really enhances people's journey towards finding love. And I am especially excited to introduce to you our newest speaker, because this is one of the top priorities on making a first impression. I'd love for you to meet Ashley Rhoda and get a chance to learn tips on how to make them weak in the knees on your journey to capture the attention of the individual you are pursuing, and also how to keep their attention while dating. So Ashley, I'd love to have you introduce yourself, let us know a little bit about what you do, and also why you wanted to become a part of our Discover Love Academy.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is going to be so much fun. To start, why wouldn't I want to be a part of this? It's an amazing organization that you founded here, and like a Discover Love Academy. I don't know why. It's so enticing. I had to be involved. So thank you for letting me be involved. A little bit about myself is just that I am one of the avenues that I work in is as a wardrobe stylist. So I really help people pull their image together and represent who they are in a visual statement, which is their clothing.
Absolutely crucial. Dating, you get just a split microsecond to make a first impression. So I knew that you had to be a part of this, and I really am so excited that you have jumped in and really are to participate. You've done actual classes with our group before, and they talk about it all the time. So the exciting part is we're recording this one so they can see it and hear it and replay it and rewind and do it again, because these are such crucial steps that really make a difference in your confidence, how to attract the person, and just kind of own your moment. So knowing that you just have so much goodness to share with our listeners, it is just like so exciting. Question, what to wear? So as we get started, I would love, what is the first thing you say to a client when they're going, okay, I'm ready for some life changes? What are some of the initial starting steps just to get kind of ready to look at yourself differently?
Yeah. So the first statement I always ask them is, what statement do you want to make? How do you want to be perceived? And who are you? And how can we show that using clothing as a medium? So I know a lot of fashion stylists are all about the brands and the trends and the fads, and that's really not my approach. I'm more about the statement that you want to make. So, there's different phases of dating. Obviously, maybe you've been dating a while, maybe you're new to the game, maybe you are with someone that you've been dating consistently for a while, but the truth is always the same. It's what statement do you want to make? Now, as you made you said this already, is a first date is like a first interview. It's your first impression. So it's the opportunity to really share who you are. Let's stop that. And tell people in a visual way more about yourself. So definitely, what statement do you want to make would be the very first thing that I tell clients to focus on.
That is so true, because, there's the ones that show up a little inappropriate, and then they wonder why the guy thinks they want to sleep with them that night. And then there's the one that looks so conservative and so buttoned up that there's nothing sexy. They look like they just left corporate America. And we really need to know how to change out of the boardroom look to, hey, I'm ready for a date. And also to remind yourself that you're not at a business meeting anymore. And how to kind of feel a little bit attractive in your own right, but turn that clock off. It feels like clothing helps remind you what your statement is, what your focus is. And so, when you're talking to somebody about this, what are some of the things that you tell people to say, okay, you just were working corporate. Like, I just had a client go on a date with a very corporate woman and met her at lunch. And then he's like, oh, she's not very, ready and feminine. And I was like, she's doing corporate, and it's hard. And so that's where I think people lose sight of what they're doing, because we're so work brain, but yet you want to be flirt brain. But the clothing helps you change your mind.
Absolutely.
So what would be a fun tip? Like you're having a lunch date or right after work for happy hour?
Sure. I think you just hit so many good things. I'm going to try and break them down as much as possible. So the first thing I want to do is, God, that was like all of them all at once. I'm so excited. Where to start? I would say, so the first part that you talked about was being, too sexy or too conservative. So with that part, that and specifically talks about an accent area. Now, what I mean by an accent area is you want to pick an area that you want your partner or your date's eyes to focus on. If you have too many, you sometimes get that like skanky look or sleazy look, versus if you're so covered up and no one can see anything, it comes off sometimes as defensive or people aren't allowed to get to know you. So I often say the first thing is pick an accent area. Do you want to have a great neckline that day? Maybe you want to have fun with showing off your legs and you pick a different hemline like in the skirts, or you want to show off your waistline. Pick what accent area you want to do. So I know this is a little childish, but if you remember our game of head, shoulders, knees, and toes, I have one for style of hair, accessories, neck, legs, back, and shoes. They're just different areas that you could focus on. So maybe it's your hair. My hair's kind of like, I feel like I might have just gotten off a broom today. It's been a little windy here, but it's fun. So maybe it's your hair. Maybe, again, it's that neckline. Maybe you have a really great dress that shows off your curves, and that's your waistline that you're showing that day. So just pick an accent area. That's the first part that you kind of said. The second part was how to look pulled together. So this is a two-part thing. There's 5 elements. We're going to keep this simple. There's 5 elements to every outfit, and it's real basic. There's a top, a bottom, shoes, layers, and an accessory. Now, if you're wearing a dress, that counts for 2, the top and bottom, so take that out. But typically, it's top, bottom, shoes, layer, accessory. The 2 parts that need explanation of that is the layer. A layer can be like a tank top under a shirt. Maybe it's sheer. It could be a tunic top over your pants, just creating that layer. Maybe you're having fun with your pants being a different layer. It's just super fun ways to make that layered look. Also, a scarf over a top could be considered a layer. So just have fun with your layering. Accessories. People often think accessories are only jewelry. Not the case. It could be your work bag. You said maybe somebody's coming from work and they're going to lunch. Maybe you just have a really stylish work bag. It could be your phone. It could be a jacket. It could be ladies, our purses are great accessories. Anything really that makes a little bit more of a detail in your outfit is considered the accessory part. So knowing that, that's kind of the anatomy of an outfit, right? So we take that one step further and we make it a perfect 10. Now, this is literally where, when you ask me, how do I look pulled together? This is my secret. And I have to admit, we've had so much fun when people come up to us saying like, I'm a perfect 10. And I'm like, I don't even know who you are because they've seen me talk about this.
Exactly.
And so let's share this with all of your watchers right now. The perfect 10 is so simple, but it needs a little background. The background is in India, when a woman is married, there's 16 pieces of adornment to consider her beautiful. Now that's a lot. It's anything from they put henna into their hairline down to maybe a toe ring. It's 16 pieces. We don't want to go that intense, so we're just going to stick with 10 things. So the way that this works is you count yourself, and everything that you've intentionally concentrated on gets 1 point. So for example, you've done your hair, that gets a point. You've put your face on, that gets a point. Now maybe you're not someone that loves a lot of makeup. Maybe it's just you've moisturized your face. That still counts, just that you've paid attention to your face. Your jewelry gets a point, your top gets a point, bottom, shoe, all of it. So you can kind of count yourself. So, it'd be like 1, my glasses are 2, my face is on 3, I've got great earrings 4, I've got this great top 5, but it has an extra. It's got really cute. So that might be 6.
That does make a difference.
Right? 7.
I love that.
I have shoes on, so that's 8. If I had a jacket on, that'd be 9, and my bag would make 10. So it's a perfect 10.
Yep.
So it's kind of fun in playing with things. Now today, I'm going to show you this. I have like a normal top on, but what's fun is the back. I don't know if you can see this.
Yes.
It's got a little peekaboo.
It does.
So that's my accent area, is my peekaboo. So again, see how the accent area went into the 5 elements that made the outfit, but now I know I'm a perfect 10. So if you're watching, take time and just count yourself and be like, what number am I? Am I a 10? Am I a 2? If you're at a 2, you should probably put more clothes on. That's a little scary. But just think about that. And I often tell people, if you're more minimalistic in your style, maybe you don't love a lot of accessories. Maybe you're not fully over the top. You want to be more like a 7 in your point system. So you're going to want to aim for a 7. So we talked about the accent areas. We talked about the 5 elements of every outfit, the perfect 10, counting yourself. So when you ask me, how do we get that look and planning all of that, that's what I would say. And if we want to go into a little bit more planning of how to prep for a date, we can do that too. But just to answer that question, that's what I would say.
Well, and I love that you showed the back of that top, because one of the things that I hear from clients a lot is how to move from, boardroom to being out flirty. And I could see somebody wearing like a cardigan over that top, business etiquette. Then they leave and go on a date and go, okay, now I've got, this top is actually sexier without the cardigan. So it's like that layering off. I mean, I, for years, have always told clients, hey, make sure you've got, sexy undergarments, not that they're going to see it, but that you remember every day, throughout the day, you're like, oh, that's right, I'm going on a date tonight. You're thinking about the date, you're preparing, but it is what you wear. If you're wearing something and you feel bulky and bulgy and uncomfortable, you're not going to feel great. And so I'm thinking about how many times people are late for a date because they didn't really think about what they were going to wear. And then they put it on and they're like, oh. So what are some of the things to kind of prepare yourself for a date, but also feel like it represents you and that you're prepared, with the right outfit?
Absolutely. So you're saying a lot of them already. I like to say, don't be fashionably late. Maybe plan it out the night before. I mean, if you really want to get a good start, plan it the night before so that next day, if you are, going to the workplace and then you're going to the date and there's things prior to, you got to plan for your day. That's huge. So lay it out the night before, but also plan for your date plus an extra step of fun. And what I mean by that is, sometimes dates go really well, and that's the goal, right? And so often, maybe you started out with dinner, but then dinner leads into drinks, or you start out at an event. So it's a concert, you go to an art gallery, you go somewhere, right, to do something, and then you're like, this is so fun, let's extend the date. You want to have an outfit, like you were saying, that can transition through your day. So yeah, I love peekaboo elements, something that I can maybe cover up a little bit more to be professional, but also take off to have more of that fun flirt. That's really important. Also, think about these basics. Now, I know when I say this, you're going to be like, that's obvious, but sometimes you don't think about this. The weather. Plan for the weather. If it's in the summertime, it's really hot outside, but it's stinking cold inside with all the AC. So make sure you've got like a sweater that you can put over yourself. Or in the winter, you're super bundled up outside, but you don't want to be like doing a strip tease of all of your layers when you get inside because the heat is on, right? So really think about the weather. And if that's going to play into it, the destination. You got to dress for the date. One thing you were just talking about is don't wear what you would wear to the club to dinner. Like, it's a little too obvious, like what you've got planned. Like, don't necessarily wear that, body hugging dress, because that just sends the wrong impression. Unless that's the statement you want to make. Get it. That's fine. But just plan about that. So the destination. So one element of this that is a little bit more geared towards your women audience is opposites. So if you have high heels that you're wearing, please take a pair of flats. Or if you're wearing flats, please take a pair of heels. Because it's really fun to like go to the car and just be like 1 second and just, refresh yourself just by changing your shoes. So that's really fun, especially like, let's say you meet for drinks. It's been a long day. You've been in your heels and he's like, let's go take a stroll by the boardwalk. I don't want you like putting your heels through the boardwalk, like that's
right. That's exactly right. Mm-hmm.
So
it does make a difference. Yeah, shoes are huge. And if you are uncomfortable in your shoes, you are so not a very pleasant date. That's just what it is.
Yeah. And then I want you to think about needs. So this sounds kind of funny, but are you going on a date that you need your hands free? So you need to have pockets, or you need to have your purse. Like, think about dancing. So if you ever go salsa dancing, you can't be holding your phone and like all of your other stuff here.
Right.
Like, you've got to have the plan of like what you need. So I often say, like, think about that. Is it a hands-free date? Do you have like pockets? Is it going to be a cold date? Just make those plans for what you're going to need, as well as like a couple of fun things is share your coat, gentlemen. This is a thing. I want you to share your coat. So make sure your coat isn't like pitted out in the armpits. Make sure it's not got like yesterday's meal on the front. Like, I'm not implying that you gentlemen are that way. I'm just saying, maybe spray it a little with your cologne or something lightly, that when she puts it on to, you know, put it over her shoulders, or you're in the movies together and she's cold. There's things like, just plan your date.
Yes. I love that, because that makes a huge thing. When you have that moment when you're walking and a gentleman's like offers his coat, it is sexy. And it just feels protected. And when it has that strength and masculine energy with it, having that soft cologne, having that it's a clean jacket, it is nice. And then it also won't make it so when our gentlemen, as we're listening, guys, you know, stop and think about it, because if you feel your coat's kind of ick, or you got a bunch of crud in your pockets, you're probably not going to hand her your jacket. And the whole time you're going to be distracted thinking, I should have been smoother with that. Mm-hmm. So it is such an important step to talk about. Thank you for bringing that one up.
Yeah. And just unwinding again. So the next level of this, you know, we talk about having an outfit, and that I could go into days about that. You know, you can start in the morning, maybe with the kiddos, then you go to your work, then you go on the date, then you go out. Like, it's got to flow with you. But more importantly, unwinding. Dates are often in the evenings. I'm not saying that we don't do morning dates and that we don't do lunch dates and things, but they're often in the evenings where we might want to unwind. So typically, maybe you go on a date and then they invite you over for wine and you just want to like unwind on the couch. Nothing funky. I know. I'm just saying. But like, have something that you're not so like structured and rigid that you look awkward to just relax with, because isn't that the goal? Like, we want to get to a place that we're relaxed with this person, that we can be who we are, and that it's comfortable, you know? Don't like, I can't think because I don't do this, but I'm just thinking like, you know, if you're in such a structured garment that you can't even like kick off your shoes to watch a late night movie you didn't plan on, that's going to be so weird. What are you going to do? Like, ask for a shirt? Like, awkward.
Well, actually, that's a great comment, is to be prepared to be spontaneous is basically what you're saying. Yeah. And it is so true. How many dates have been interrupted because the person's like, I don't like what I've got this shrink wrap suit on, or I have, you know, I just wasn't ready, you know, whether it's like, get a freaking pedicure if you need to have your toes looking nice so you can pull off your shoes, you know, and men need to do pedicures too. So this isn't just a girl thing, but you need to feel good about just being comfortable. Another expert made a really great comment about live life with these people that you're dating, like enjoy life. Don't focus so much on it being all so prim and proper. It is nice to be put together. But I have to say, I've had more clients say, gosh, you know, that gal cared more about her handbag and her shoes and her hair than actually getting to know me. And that actually isn't attractive. So this is a really great point you're bringing up, is, you know, have enough confidence to go on your date, but not look like you're high maintenance or somebody that, you know, there's nothing spontaneous about you. So you have there's ways to be prepared to be spontaneous.
Yeah. And on that too, you know, that kind of leads into what we call the date kit. You and I have been playing with this idea, but it's this idea that, you know, yes, we do all come to a relationship with our own baggage in our own way, but how we present ourselves is an extension of that. And if we literally bring luggage with us, that's a little, no, thank you, bye. Like, people are going to be gone. So watch the size of like handbags and things. Like, just be conservative and small. You know, maybe it's, like I said, you have that extra opposite pair of shoes, right? So high heels or flats, whatever you're not currently in. Maybe you just put in like a little body spray. You know, so many people have that. Just keep yourself fresh, because if you have gone through your day, this might be a thing that, you know, just refresh yourself before your date. Have mints. not gum. You don't want to be smacking and blowing bubbles or like whatever the heck you do, or like whatever awesome tongue trick. No, you just like refresh yourself. So think of little ways. And get like travel size things. Don't come in with like your whole bathroom sink, like awkward. And as you said, you know, people, they don't want you to be high maintenance, but they do notice, as you always say, when you take that extra 5 minutes to pull yourself together and look good, because other people are going to take an extra 5 minutes when it looks like you care about yourself. So in that statement, I also like to say, it's like the other night. I really didn't mean to do this, but someone picked up on it. I was at a business meeting, but my scarf was leopard print and my bag had a leopard print detail. And it was a gentleman and he was like, "Did you mean to do that?" And I was like, "Of course." No, I didn't know. Like, oops, it was like a good day at Match. Right. But you know, those little details that people will make comments on. The next level, I don't know if this is off topic, but I just thought of this, is sentimental or symbolic items, right? Yes. So have things that when someone compliments you, there's more to it than just thanks.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Have something like these earrings. It's a hobby I have. I like to reclaim jewelry and remake jewelry pieces. So I could tell someone, "Oh, thank you, I made them." And then they're like, "Wow, you made earrings?" Right. It's the next step in the conversation. So this is going to sound weird, but make yourself interesting.
Actually, that is so important, because the truth of the matter is, in the dating world, this is a competitive market. Mm-mm. There are so many distractions. There are so many people. It's too easy to blend in with everybody. Yeah. So by being an interesting person, you're going to be someone they don't forget. That, you know, the truth is, there are a whole lot of people that can all look the same, and they could be like, "Oh, who did I meet? When did I meet? What was your name again?" But if you're somebody who's like, "Oh, you're the gal with the jewelry. Hold on, I want to talk to you about that. You know, you're the one with the really cool nails, or you got the really great hair," or, you know, it gives them a reason to talk to you. Mm-hmm. And that is the part that we talked about this actually with another, one of our experts, about the coolness of just be someone that people are drawn to. You don't always have to be the one approaching everyone. You can be someone that's being approached because of just a simple matching of accessories. Yeah. Even if you don't even realize it, it becomes natural.
Right. And I think people notice cohesion. They notice when someone looks, Absolutely. As we say, pulled together, or they notice they notice, you know, and people like details. They like the, you know, I what's going through my head right now are contrasts, you know, where you take time to not be all cotton.
Thank you.
Just saying, people, like there's so much more to the world than
I'm thinking all of our listeners are like, "Oh yeah, oops, okay, hold on, what did she just say again?"
I know. Okay, so I said there's more to the world than cotton. Like, oh my God. So I mean, anything from just get like a leather jacket, get velvet, get lace, get texture, you know, jersey print, or jersey knit. I said print, that's a bad word, my bad. Jersey knit. Just think about it, you know, like
that does make people think though, when dressing, when putting yourself together, which actually goes back to my comment at the beginning of when you're trying to meet somebody for lunch, but you're corporate. Sure. If you grabbed a cute little fun jacket on top that kind of calmed down the corporate energy, it reminds you, but also it is a texture change. It is a different look and feel than I've been running around in my business attire. And so by having just that cute little jacket that's in part of your, you know, date kit bag, or it's what you brought in with you, but you didn't put it on until it was lunchtime, it changes your mindset. And it makes a huge difference, but it is so easy to wear cotton all the time. Yeah,
it's kill me. That's all I'm saying. But, you know, you're talking about this and my brain just gets so excited. So I'm thinking of all these things. So like, let's use corporate for an example, just for fun here. So let's say you are in your full suit, right? How do you go suit to date? Suit to date could be, gentlemen, keep your amazing button up and your absolutely perfectly fitted like blazer on, and just switch into jeans out of your slacks, like a dark wash denim, and like your great business shoes. we're going to want to date you. I promise we're going to want to date you.
Women look at shoes.
Like one simple thing. Absolutely. One simple thing. Or, switch out your shoes, like keep the top and switch the slacks with a new pair of shoes. Or maybe you keep the slacks and you put on like a white button-up shirt instead of the full like blazer and everything. Or you do like, a polo. That could be better. Just casual it down and act like you're going to the golf tournament or something like that. The other one is, ladies, like when you're in your suits, right? So we either have pants or we have the pencil skirt. Pencil skirts are amazing on dates. I'm sorry. I personally love them. So maybe pair it with a more casual top. So a polyester top or a cotton top is fine. Just tuck it into that pencil skirt and give yourself an amazing hourglass figure, like, yes, please. Or just do opposite. So I say in my world, I call them contrast, but opposite. So if you have something really formal, do something casual. If you have something very bold and loud, do something very soft. Just have fun with contrast. So I hope I'm explaining that okay. But
you don't want to have a loud top, loud earrings, loud everything where you're just like, woo, 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 when you walk in the room. So there's a balance, but it's about the focal points, like where am I supposed to go with this? Because if you confuse a person when you walk in, they're going to just look the other way. It's just overwhelming.
Yeah, or run.
Yeah, pretty much. Just tuck and roll.
I love that. Yeah.
Like, we're out of here. And it is about making that impression, because all my years of working with clients as a matchmaker, and a lot of times I take clients out flirting, they don't know the person's name. So if they're going to point out to me someone they want me to kind of introduce them to or check out for them, they're going to be, the gal with the long hair that has those silver hoop earrings. They're going to acknowledge how you've put yourself together, is how they describe you, because that's the way that they've noticed you and what they're attracted to. But it is fascinating because I've had so many clients that, the first date, the gal puts herself together, the guy puts himself together, and they hit it off. And the second date, the gal does no makeup, no jewelry, and the guy's still put together, and he's kind of like, who am I dating? Like, I'm confused. And so we have to remember to keep some similarity in how we represent ourselves in that consistency, but also show that you still care. Like, you didn't just stop caring after the first date. To actually put the effort into it. It's not about overdoing it, but it is about being consistent in your sense of how you put yourself together.
Yeah, and I realize that this is an overused word right now, but being authentic, like, just be you. Like, if you're not a super bedazzled woman, don't try and be, because you think that's what they want. Do you, like, be you, and be you in a way that you would want to date you, So we talked a little bit about this so far, but like grooming, right? So do your hair, like, actually do your hair.
Very obvious.
Wash it, wear deodorant, please. That's not optional. I don't care how good you think you smell, like, wear that stuff. Like, it's please. Brush your teeth. That's huge.
Floss your teeth.
Think about. Yeah, or even shave. Now, this goes both ways. Shave, ladies, like, you know what I'm talking about. Shave your legs, shave everything. But, like, gentlemen too, shave. Like, I'm a lady that loves facial hair, but there's something that happens between this region, between your chest and your head. This, like, I don't know what happened. You guys, like, forget that you have a neck. I don't know what goes on. So these, like, little hairy beasts start growing up in here.
Yeah, do the whole.
No, you got to take care of that, because you'll be lucky. Because if, God forbid, you dated someone like me, I'd shave you in your sleep. You got to take care of that stuff. Like, so shave the neckline.
If you would like to possibly maybe get a little kiss on the neck or the cheek, you want to be ready for that. And I think people forget to be approachable.
No, I didn't want to go too far on that, but that is exactly what I was trying to hint at, is like, things happen up in here in this whole space that you've got to be welcoming of it. I mean,
right. Well, it's the same thing as why, as I said about pedicures, I think men and women should be doing manicures.
Yeah.
If you're cuticles or you're a nail biter, it's icky, but also it looks distracting and you're fidgeting, and it is something where, your hands are soft to hold. Like, go and put some lotion on, put some, a little extra, just those little steps. I mean, gosh, every freaking bathroom out there has the most drying soap imaginable. Like, travel with a little thing of lotion. It's okay. Have some lip balm in your pocket just to show that you are nurturing yourself. Because if you take care of yourself, you're showing that to your date, to the people around you. And it is so much more attractive. And it's also ready for spontaneity. You're on a date, you want to be ready, but also you might be out with a friend getting a cup of coffee and someone catches your eye. You don't want to be thinking, oh, I just don't even like how I look today. I'm just going to put my head down and go the other way. It just hold your essence and you're more likely to find someone, but going with intention makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. It does. I mean, the one that gets me are the nails. Now, this may be just that I'm a stylist. So I own this one. My paws are up. I'm saying it. But nails are a big thing because, like, if you're biting them, I just think that you're nervous about life. Mm-hmm. And that you're like just not you're just unsettled and worried. And now, but I do have to admit, a man that works with his hands, like a general contractor, and they're like beaten up and calloused, or like they're calloused from being at the gym. I like that. That's okay.
They earned it. Yes. Not.
Yeah, that's like a good thing. Like, I like dirty paws. Like, yes, please. But then other times it's like, like, it's, again, as you're saying, though, it's that 5 seconds, 5 minutes that you take for yourself. And there's another element I think it shows is that if you care about yourself, it's not even that you care about yourself, it's that you're compassionate. So maybe you'll show caring actions to the person that you're with,
Right.
If you pamper you, wouldn't you pamper others that you're around? Because it's just a mentality that you have. So I think of it like that too.
Yeah, I think that's really powerful because, as I've said over the years and have been in the makeup industry and everything, that by putting your face on, you're telling the world that you're worth 5 minutes. Unless you have somebody doing your own makeup. If you have somebody else that's, shaving you, it's that extra, those little steps. Like, I noticed, like, one of my kids just had a birthday and he does this amazing shave on his head for the style and a braid that he does. And it's incredible, but he owns it when he walks in and he does it for special occasions. It's not something he does all the time, but it makes you turn and look because it's a sense of style. It's a sense of uniqueness. It's a sense of who he is. And this is the part that people, I feel so strongly, just keep blending in with the crowd. They wear similar clothing, similar styles. Having that something extra makes a difference. It's also great for conversation to get it striked up, whether you're passing by someone and you want to give them a compliment or on the date, something to talk about, because it helps to have something else if you're getting a little bit nervous. So all of these elements are really crucial. Mm-hmm. One of the things I keep thinking about as we're talking is people that can get overwhelmed with dating and getting dressed for dates. I've often given tips of like, okay, plan your first 3 date outfits so that if you go on 3 dates with that person, this is date 1, 2, and 3. To add some layers. But what would you kind of suggest in what could be a good first date, second date, third date attire? And obviously, as I say, layers would come with it for men and women, because then once you get to 4th date, who cares if you wear that dress again? And who cares if you're, putting that jacket on again? But sometimes we have to kind of wrap our brain around it, because I feel like in my industry, I notice people come up with excuses. So your wisdom is so powerful. And I know our listeners are hearing me go, God, if I just knew what I was going to wear, because a woman, when she knows what she's wearing, she's going. And so that piece is huge. What do you think would be just kind of like 3 snap, crackle, pop kind of first date types of things for just a good impression, but not overkill, but not too conservative?
Yeah, I mean, everyone is so unique. So this is really hard to speak to the masses. So maybe I'll just say what I would do or something. So being the sacrificial lamb maybe here, but also it goes back again. None of your listeners now can say that they don't know how to get dressed because I've already told them. So it's what statement do you want to make, the 5 elements to every outfit, and how to look like a perfect 10. So I know whatever you walk out with, based on those things, you're going to be okay. You're going to look great. But, I like to kind of progress. And again, it seems like my word in this video today is about contrast, but still play with this. So I like to do an outfit where maybe I have pants and then I do a skirt and then I do a dress and then I might do pants or a skirt, like variations every time. Yeah. Don't just show up in the same like black pants, high heels, and a shirt every time. Like stagger the look. So like plan something like this is going to be my dress look. This is going to be my skirt look. This is going to be my pant look. And then honestly, I wish I could say there's an order of like A, B, C, but it depends on the date you go on, right? Like if you don't want to wear a dress if you're going hiking, like hello, first of all, don't ever take me hiking, but still, you know what I mean? Like you gotta like, it's a little hard to make generic statements like that, but I would say the pant outfit, the dress outfit, and the skirt outfit. I would also say men's side, I would say, you know, the slacks outfit, the dressier outfit, the dark wash denim, you cannot go wrong with it. It's really a great look. Mm-hmm. And then something more casual too, you know, for like, I'm just thinking about this, but in the summer times, I don't know why, but board shorts and flip-flops for me. I know it's probably not for everybody, but that just gets me. Like, I love that. Or denim with flip-flops. Woo, I get it.
Yes.
But I'm a swimmer, so maybe that's my thing. I don't know. But just have a variation. So, you know, maybe there's casual, dressy, daytime, like you caught me at the store, like whatever. So those progressions would be the first phase. The second phase would really be that contrast. So like I said, you know, if you're coming from work, put jeans on with the blazer, or you're coming from work and, you know, put a denim jacket with your really fancy pencil skirt, you know, just get that contrast in there. And then I would say, this is about love, so let's be honest. I would say plan one step that it goes well. So maybe it's, you know, like I have my little peekaboo on the back of my shirt. Something that just takes it a little bit more sexy if things go well. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's just a fitted shirt underneath your jacket, gentlemen, or it's the next layer underneath, you know, like it kind of reminds me of the best analogy I would do for this would be like in the winter, you know, when we're so bundled up and it's like our cute outfit is deep, deep, deep down. Like you have to take off all these layers so you get to the good, like juicy stuff. You want every layer to be good. So
ooh, I love that. That just made me think about how many people do. They just like bundle, 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 and tie wraps and hats on. And then it's like, okay, well, what am I going to see? Boom. And I love that. Make everything.
It's kind of like those, now it's, you know, year round this is true, but you know what, like Christmas time where it's that package that like it's 10 boxes deep and you go through like cardboard, then you go through like paper, like newspaper, and then there's all this stuff. Like, that's kind of fun if you want to be like Shrek and an onion and you're trying to like peel off all the layers and whatever, like, you know, whatever. But I'm saying like, have a jacket that you've consciously picked because it's tailored and it looks good. Then have this sweater that fits really well. But okay, it could be a chunky sweater. That's fine. But if you take off the chunky sweater, then there's that nice form-fitting dress. And then, you know, like just layer yourself in outfits so that it's not like you went from like, I don't know, a pack mule down to like this little thing, like, you know, like.
Right, that's true. It's very
good. That. So like,
I love that.
And then everything that you take off should create another outfit. And that I know you may need my help with. So unfortunately, you're going to have to call me and I'll help you. But I'm just saying,
like, but we have to think about these layers. And it reminds me, we had a holiday party years ago and there was a gentleman that walked in with this very nice suit. And all I heard afterwards was, who was the man in the really nice suit? Like nobody even got his name. They were so focused on damn. And they were like, I want the man in the suit. And I would get all these emails and I was just laughing going, well, you got to approach him to find out his name. But he made such a lasting impression. Mm-hmm. And it was that commanding. And something that you and I talked a lot about is, you know, walking into a room, whether it is a mingle, a social that we're hosting, or it's something that you are going with friends, or you're going to a holiday get together for work, you know, it's walking in with that command. When you feel great in what you're wearing, it is amazing what energy you will attract and ripple in the room.
Yeah. And I have to say there's another element to this too that takes it a little deeper. Visibility.
Love it.
As a wardrobe stylist, I legitimately have to talk about this really fast. Stop hiding if you want someone to date you. I promise they're not going to look under the couch. They're not going to look behind your best friend. They're not like hunting for you.
Right.
Like, be there, be seen. And for a lot of people, this is scary. For a lot of people, they're scared to get dressed because you're noticed when you get dressed. And they're scared. So I gotta say, you gotta do a little bit of your work. Definitely hire you. That's a no-brainer. But be confident in who you are, not trying to be somebody else. Be who you are, be authentic in that, and let the clothing express that. And get excited when someone compliments you, you know, like, it's okay. It's okay to be seen. It's okay to be styled. It's okay to take time for yourself. And I find that this is really hard for a lot of the people I work with. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be noticed. And it can be really hard. But at the same time, like, hello, you're going to date the person. They're also going to see you when you're throwing up, when you're sick, when you have a really bad day.
Right.
Like, they're going to see all of you. So if getting dressed is a problem, like, honey, we really got to get you to Jacqueline's classes. Like, oh my God. Like, but visibility is a thing here. So I want to address that just because I want to tell you that if you take this advice, you will be seen and people will notice you. And you need to be ready for that because it's not a bad thing.
Well, and I'm really glad you brought this up. And this is actually a powerful topic to cover as we're going through all of these elements. It's, you know, it's one thing to put your clothes on, but it's also to know that you will get a reaction. And a lot of people always are, there's no good ones left. Nobody notices me. I just, you know, he always wants her and, you know, that distraction. I'm like, you know what? You don't have to be drop dead gorgeous. You have to own how you enter a space. When you feel good in it, you know, it's like you have that one jacket that just fits you right. Wear that a lot. You know, when you have that piece that compliments you, wear it. And be proud of it, but know that that's the goal. And I really am glad you brought this up because I think people forget and they wear stuff that's got this muted energy to it. And then they want to prove it didn't work going out and meeting people because they're like, well, I showed up. And it's like, you actually have to have something that says, I want to be approached. I want you to walk up to me. If you dress like you don't want anyone to talk to you, well, nobody's going to talk to you. And it was funny because like we just had a mingle and I had 5 tables saved. The first 5 people went to each individual table. And I had to physically walk over and say, you're here to meet the person at the other table. Like walk up to each other, but they kind of sit and they, you know, step aside. And if you walk in and you feel great, you're more likely to walk to the table that already has people than walk to the table that's off to the side because you're kind of going, well, maybe nobody will see I even came in. So you brought up a very, very important point.
Yeah, it's good to be seen. And I do have to say, you know, the visibility side, but it's a 2-sided coin here. So I got to bring up the hoochie dress. Okay. So there's something to this. I call it the hoochie dress theory. So if you're out shopping, right, and you pick up that garment off the rack, and let's say it's a hoochie dress, if it's a hoochie dress on the hanger, it's going to be a hoochie dress on your body. Don't think that it's going to like magically morph into something conservative. If your boobs are out, if your butt's out, if your back's out, like get ready for the attention. And I actually, this surprises many people, but I have some really young clients. Usually they're about 16 to 18. So, and usually they're women who are just developing too fast for their age. Right. And I will often coach them and say, okay, girls, like you have a beautiful body that I don't know you understand the power of. Women have a beautiful body, all shapes, sizes, whatever, but we need to also be aware and conscious to the power that we have of using that, you know? So if you're going to show off the ladies, do it, but don't come back to me telling me that they don't treat me right. They just want me for my body. Well, hell yes, they do, because that's what you're putting out there. Like, right. So be conscious to that. So when I say, you know, be visible, it's good to be visible, be consciously visible, because right. I want you to be out there making a statement. I want you to show off your body. I'm not saying don't, but I'm saying find that happy medium between yeah, between that hoochie dress and between super conservative, find that happy medium that gets you the responses you want. And you're going to know.
Yeah.
People are going to be catcalling you, or they're going to be like, hey, honey, or they're going to be like, can I hire you for a consult? Like, they don't even know, like you said, the conservative corporate attire. They're going to think that it's business.
Right.
So be consciously visible is that next phase of what
I love that.
saying.
And I also really love you talking about just the way the outfit fits. I remember going on a date with a man one time, and I swear he had to have been wearing somebody else's shirt. That shirt was so freaking big for him. I was so distracted by this monster shirt on this little guy. I have to admit, it was really hard to feel any connection when he probably was a great man. But I was like, dude, you're like floating in it, and it's like twice your wrist size. Like, just take some time. If you've lost weight, go get yourself a few things. There's so many great thrift stores. I have a friend who's in a wonderful weight loss process, and she's like, I love the thrift stores until I'm at the size I want. So taking the time to actually look. And one of your comments that you say all the time that I love is, get a freaking full-length mirror, men and women. Like, let's look this over.
I literally put my clients in timeout if they don't own a full-length mirror. I'm just like, my favorite. Okay, so background story. I didn't even think I was going to talk about this, but one of my favorite client pictures. So I have my clients text me from dressing rooms or different places. This woman, now mind you, she's already a little bit pocket-sized petite, but she was literally squatting on her bathroom counter to take a side profile to send me her whole outfit. So she's like, bodies, butt, like legs. So she's like sitting like this on the counter.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't.
Like, what?
What is that? Like, why would you ever want to see like only half of the world, only half of your body, only half of this? Like, that's just dangerous. Get a full-length mirror. And you know what? They are really cheap at Walmart. Like, get one of them when they're on sale for the dorm rooms. Like, no excuses, people. Yeah. And then often that's a misconception. I have a huge misconception in my work that people think that I only like designer, that I only like expensive, that you have to spend a lot of money. No, that is not the case. I love discount, like you were saying. Now, there are wardrobe essentials that I would encourage you to spend on because they're going to be lifetime pieces, such as like a wool jacket for in the winter time, or like that little black bathing suit you're going to wear all summer long. Like, there are certain things I want you to invest in, and I'll tell you that for sure. But generally speaking, you have your base wardrobe, right? So some of those fundamentals are like the little black dress, the full suit men, a good pair of shoes, those basics I want you to be investing in. But everything else, like maybe you go through a fad of liking a certain color. Get that stuff more cheap so that if you replace it or you change it or you don't like it, you're not breaking the bank. But people don't think of their wardrobe as a collection, and it is. It's a collection of your shoes, your accessories, your clothing, your bags. You want a full collection. So
I like that. Yeah, and so you are prepared to go out, but also take some time to invest in you shows you're going to invest in your relationship, and that makes such a difference.
And I mean, quality over quantity at times. There are things that I love to go cheap and do a ton of, like, those layering spaghetti strap tank tops. I have tons of those and they're super cheap. But, other things, quality matters. Like, and I'm not saying expensive. I just mean good material, good make, good structure. It's tailored. I mean, I'd rather you, well, that's not true, but I'd rather you get it tailored, and really have things that fit you well than just buying to buy.
Right. Exactly. Well, and that's the problem is people are showing up at dates and they're not put together or they're haphazard on it. And they don't realize, I still kind of laugh because I have this wonderful, amazing client. And he's a judge. So he's very successful. He's in his suit all the freaking time. Well, he goes on a date with this lovely lady and he shows up in Birkenstocks and shorts, and she immediately was turned off by that look and didn't want to go out with him again, thinking he was, didn't have any resources. But he was like, I laughed when I talked to him later. He goes, I'm in a suit all day, all week long. I'm sitting there and I want to be relaxed. So we have to remember too that great things come in unique packages sometimes. So maybe we need to, be patient with our date if they dress in a way that isn't as flattering, because the man was extremely successful.
Yeah.
Mostly because he knew how to be on and off the clock. He taught me a lot. And he's happily married to a beautiful, gorgeous woman who didn't care that he wore Birkenstocks on their date. But the other gal was so caught up in what he was wearing that she missed out on getting to know him and his amazing taste. And he looks, oh my gosh, I saw him on work days. He looked fine in his business suit. But you know what? On the weekend, he wanted to wear his shorts and Birkenstocks, and that was okay too. And you have to see past some of those moments also.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sorry, there's still strategy to casual wear.
Exactly.
I mean, there still is. You got to be comfortable. I do understand that. I understand that, but there's also exceptions too. So this is what's popping in my head right now is fire drills. So my mom was a flight attendant. I've been in property management where I literally manage the property. And you know what? Things catch on fire. They go wrong. So someone's bathtub was overflowing on the 5th floor at 2 a.m. Things happen. And I always like to say, have good pajamas. Also for business, people that have business meetings, and then, often they'll do that, let's gather around by the fire after work kind of deal. So my point is, this is the casual stuff that you have to actually still take into account. If your pajamas have holes in them, would you want to sleep with you? Saying.
Exactly.
Or if your casual wear is, I'm not saying Birkenstocks are bad. That's fine. Just maybe have a better jean that you're wearing with it instead of the holy khaki slacks that you have or whatever. And, especially where we are here in Portland, casual is a religion. It's a defiance of the system. We're going to wear our pajamas to the store. But you know what? How many times are you in the line at the store, you're at the bank, you're walking your dog and it poops and you bend and snap and there's the man. You gotta be ready. I have literally had clients, and this is actually funny, so I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this. My business coach, actually, of all people, called me because she was at the back of an Albertsons one time, and she was in the frozen section, and she had just finished a huge gardening project, and she ran into one of her students and was so embarrassed. She was hiding in the freezer section, hoping that they would check out before she had to go to the front.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to be hiding because their casual wear is so bad. I get it. We all have, our casual wear, but you can still take time to make it matter, because that's the thing. When I was in property management and stuff, and the fire department would come, I kind of wanted to look cute for those boys. It wasn't going to be here's my Snoopy shirt. Hi guys. No, who knows where it's going to come from? And you know how the world works. The universe is constantly sending you opportunities. And I'm sorry, but if you're not dressed for it, it doesn't matter. You could be the smartest person in the room. They are going to pass you. And I hate the fact that is the fact. But the fact is,
the truth is the truth.
You're not dressed like your life depends on it. Hashtag, seriously, you're gonna miss out. I mean, so many times it was because I was dressed well. And
absolutely.
It is a thing.
That is huge. And that's what this is about, is you're looking to attract. Well, the first thing they see before you open your mouth is what you're wearing and how you put yourself together. So we're almost out of time, and I would love for you to give us some awesome, juicy goodness to wrap this all up with a big whole bow as we get everyone going, some challenges to work on, things to think about as they're ready, because what you wear is that, it's not the money, it's not all that. It does make a difference, though, how you put yourself together for that impression.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to talk in sound bites. So here we go. But the fastest way to align your mind, body, and soul is to change your clothes.
Agree. I love it.
It's true. Dress like your life depends on it, because it matters. and think about what statement do you want to make and how do you want others to see you, because that's the first way you're truthfully communicating with them, not verbally, but visually. Be confident enough that you can be visible, but be conscious enough when you are visible that you're sending those right impressions. And then just always remember that Jacqueline and I are always here to support you. So you just have to reach out and see if we can help you in an individualized way.
Exactly. Well, Ashley, thank you so much. I am so excited that you got to share, and I'm so proud of all that you're sharing, because as I'm listening, I could feel all the bing, bing, bing ideas popping off of the heads of our clients, because the truth of the matter is they're blocking themselves with their fashion, not knowing what they could do. And that little extra bit. And you know, when you have the right outfit, the right shoes, you want to go out. You're actually more excited to go out, and even if you don't have a date. So creating this atmosphere is really important. So I thank you for everything you've shared, and I'm really excited for everybody to let us know what they've done to make the changes and build on that confidence.